Hello, everybody. This week, Parshas Mikeits, we have an unusual or an infrequent occurrence where we actually read the assigned haftorah that's connected to the parsha, since in most years it is deferred in favor of reading the haftorah for Shabbos Chanukah, and in a year where there are two Shabbatot of Chanukah, Mikeits is the second Shabbat Chanukah Haftorah. So it behooves us to perhaps take a look at the connection between the Parsha and the Haftorah. The most blatant and obvious connection is that in our Parsha we read, Vayikatz Paro v'hinei chalom, Paro awakens, and behold, it was a dream that he had. And in the Haftorah, Vayikatz Shlomo v'hinei chalom. Shlomo awakens and has a dream, except for the different names. The verses are identical. But we will have to admit that that's hardly the connection for several reasons. Number one, while the Parsha details the dreams of Paro, we have no such detail that's included in our Haftorah. It appears in Sefer Melachim Aleph in the psukim prior to the beginning of our Haftorah. Secondly, the dream leaves Paro very, very confused, bewildered, and his spirit is disturbed, for he doesn't know what the dream means. Shlomo wakes up rather joyful because God had offered him any gift that he wanted, and he chose wisdom, and therefore when God granted that wish, since he asked for wisdom as opposed to more temporal things, Shlomo then proceeds to make a mishteh for his household and servants. So his frame of mind is certainly different from that of Paro. There is another similarity in that God promises Shlomo, "Vehinei natati lecha lev chacham v'navon." So we have chachma and tevuna within Shlomo. And in our parsha, Paro, upon hearing the wonderful interpretation of his dreams by Yosef, proclaims, Ein navom v'chacham kamocha. No one has the chachma and the tevuna like you do. However, that too is not the connection, because God's granting of the gifts of wisdom and insight are not mentioned in a Haftorah, but rather in the preceding psukim prior to the commencement of the Haftorah. I'd like to further just ponder, since Shlomo's dream is not mentioned in the Haftorah, why start the Haftorah with Vayikat Shlomo v'hinei chalom? Simply begin with the famous story of the two women, each claiming that the living baby is theirs, and Solomon's wisdom in solving the case. Why do we have to be told that he awakens from a dream that's not even mentioned in the Haftorah? And if already you're going to mention it, then why not already begin the Haftorah with the concept of what he dreamt about? I would like to suggest a very, very simple response that I believe is ultimately the connection here. Dreams are important. A person has to have aspirations, hopes, things that he would like to see happen. And therefore, the Haftorah begins by underscoring this in its inclusion of the pasuk, Vayikatz Shlomo v'hinei chalom. But the dream of Solomon is not mentioned in the Haftorah, because while dreams are important, what matters most is what you do with the dream. So the Haftorah, while mentioning that Solomon awoke from a dream, focuses on his utilization of what he dreamt and hoped for: wisdom, insight, understanding, discernment. And the Haftorah proceeds to show how he implemented the gifts of his dream aspirations. And so too in the Parsha. Yes, we begin with the dreams of Paro, but the apex of the story is the interpretation of the dream. But not just the interpretation, but Yosef offers a solution to Paro of how to deal with the problems that the dreams represent. Again, it's taking what we dream about and knowing how to put it into practice. We can hardly afford to be daydreamers, but nor can we afford to fail to dream. Shabbat Shalom.